tightly, trapping all those fighting souls. But yet, across the world I see you standing in my way.
I remember the time, the place we used to fight, the sun and moon, and I wonder if ever there was a time that we were friends.
The night has fallen, shadows looming, and yes, that time has come for me to seek you out. We are set now for our last reunion, and brave as you find your way, come find me.
Do you remember who you really are? Show me that you are still the only one for me. I'll be waiting for you. We will clash, no matter where.
We will fight, wishing across time and space.
'Cause you are my destiny till the end. Do you see the dawn, the flames burning brightly, shining on those memories? And yes, across the time I see you turning the tide.
And do you see now our time, our turn? We can still fight like the wind and fire, and wonder no more. That now is the only time your heart is mine.
Night has fallen,
Darkness grows and
as we fight for our destiny and faith.
new days smiling for the past and future. Brave as you lead the way, fight with me. Show me that you are still the only one that matters for me. I'll be waiting for you. Expecting you, ready to punish
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, if it's morning for you. Good afternoon, good evening. Holy shit, I just did the Tim the Tatman intro. I didn't even mean to do that. Let me just swindle your intro real quick. Top of the morning to you. Hello, internet. Let me just take everybody's intros. But hello. As if an 8-hour stream last night wasn't enough, we are live once again I barely got any sleep. Although if I'm being real honest between you and I probably could have went back to sleep. But I got some work to do here. So we got to do this. So if you're not entirely sure what we're doing after reading the title, let me lay it down to you like this. Today's the day. Today is the day. I said last night, I've been working for like a week, like behind the scenes. I've been rereading all of the stories here in this game, taking down notes almost mindlessly. And I say mindlessly, not really. I guess that might not be the best word, but I was just writing. I was just writing what's happening. I was like kind of in a daze. So I got summaries for every single character in this game. Let's go. Look at this. Every single character that you're looking at, I wrote a summary of their chapter 1 story. All right. So I've been putting in work. Let's just go do a random story right there. Black Widow. Bam. Look at all this story you got to go through. Look at this. Read it all. What's that? You want to go over here? Rocky Raccoon. Let's go over here. What's his story looking like? Oh, more scrolling? Yes, sir. I'm out here reading novels. What's that, Punisher? Oh, this one's pretty long. Yo, I'll be honest with you. The Punisher one, it's not a drag. Because these stories are fun to read. But like when you're doing it in succession of one another, man, you come across this story, right? I'm still scrolling. Yo, this one was tough to get through. It was just a lot. It was pretty dense. Shout out the devs though. Shout out their lore team over there. I don't know what they're exactly called, but they had to have like a full team working on the story for this game. But went through all the characters, got all the summaries. Shout out to the Discord server. If you're not part of our Discord server, why did the music stop? I was vibing with it. Let's go one more time. The Discord server, very, very helpful. I want to give a shout out right here. The shout out's also going to be in the description of the video where I use the info for, but over in our Discord, we have a lore section where yes, I'm talking right to you. You could submit like pictures, videos, whatever, of pieces of lore that you would like me to cover in a video. So I want to give a shout out to Nolan and Keys over on the Discord server. Put in the lore. Nolan put in the entangled moments that we're gonna do today, and Keys put in some of the gallery cards, but I'm gonna address that in just a minute because there's a bit of a question with that. What's up, Godslayer over on YouTube? Hello. So today we are crafting all of these stories, putting them in order, and essentially, this is a pitch I made last night, and then after the stream I was thinking about it a little bit more. I think this is the approach I'm going to go with it. We are essentially going to create this huge video, almost like a movie, similar in like format to Avengers Infinity War. I think that might be the best way to present all of these stories that are literally reaching across the multiverse. I think the best way to approach it, because some of these stories interact and mention one another, then they weave back and forth. Others are on their own thing. So, if you remember Infinity War, like towards the middle and then going to the end before the big fight. People were separated. You know, you got like Iron Man and all of them over on Titan who fought Thanos for a bit. You had everybody go to Wakanda, try to, you know, get their defenses ready against Thanos. And then Thanos eventually showed up at the end there. And then, you know, we got Thor, Rocket, and Groot over trying to get Stormbreaker. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. And then overall, you know, it's telling one narrative, but it's like split up and we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I think that's the best way to present these stories. So we're gonna try to figure that out today. Let me show you the work that I've done for like the format. Watch this. Let me lay it down for you like this, brother. All right, ready? All right, here we go. That's all the work that I got. So, we're starting from the beginning, putting all this together. We're gonna do all this on stream here today. So it's gonna be pretty fun. The music stopped again. That's crazy. That's crazy. There we go. I'm excited though. It's gonna be we're gonna put in some work right here. I hope you're ready, because I'm ready. I am ready. Even though, oh, what's up, Nolan? It's about that time. It is about that time. So, even though this stream right here, it's gonna be a lot of work, it probably won't even compare to the work I've been doing behind the scenes for the past week and doing all the reading and stuff. So, like, weirdly, this is gonna be the easy part right here. Putting it all together, formatting it. This is gonna be the easy part of it. So before we do begin though, like I said a minute ago, shout out to Nolan, shout out to Keys putting in some of the lore over on the Discord. With the way things are going, hold on, let me go back to the game. If we go to the gallery card here for this season, right? Which is very funny because now I have unlocked these stories. But there's 2 gallery cards before this from the Battle Pass. Now here's the thing. Hey, what's up, Blue Stream over on YouTube? Hello. Welcome in. Here's the thing. I also made summaries for the entangled moments and the gallery cards. I'm telling you, I wrote summaries for everything. I've been putting in work. However, let's go to the season pass, the battle pass. Where's it at? Here we go. Over here, this is the first page of that book we were just looking at. And then all the way down here, the very last thing on the battle pass is this page right here. And these are the first 2 pages. Let's go to page 1. See this one right here? That's the one we just saw. And then the Fantastic Four one is the very last thing on the Battle Pass. So here's the thing. I don't think that... Okay, let me just put it like this. Clearly, as you just saw, I'm only on page 3, right? Damn, dude, hold on. Let me turn on this music for the game. I don't like sitting in silence like this. Okay. How do I put this? I don't think on this iteration of the video that we're going to make today, I don't think I'm going to include the gallery cards. Because I feel the gallery card should be like an all or nothing type thing. And like, I guess if I wanted to, you know, I could. And I'm talking like last resort type thing. Like I could just buy my way into the getting these gallery cards, but seeing this one at the very end, makes me think at least this story, or maybe both, like both of these stories here, may have something to do with the two other Fantastic Four members that haven't joined the game yet. And if that's the case, I think the better move would just be to hold off on including this entire book until the Thing and Johnny Storm come out. So then we get like the full picture of it. Does that make sense? Like, I feel it would be weird to just, you know, just skip these two gallery cards right here that are pretty important because they take up full pages, of course, and then just include these. I feel like that would be weird. And then also they have these pages back here where they say coming soon. I'm assuming these might come out alongside the next two characters. I think. So that's what I'm leaning to right now, is to not include these over here in this first like mega video. I think. I read the first Battle Pass page, but I forgot what the lore was on that. Oh, you talking about the Dracula one? Yo, did you read the Lunar New Year story? I did not. I did not. Is it important? I thought it was kind of oh, it's probably gonna unlock it, don't I? I thought it was just like a, you know, like a extra thing. Season 1 Fortune Colors event. Am I tripping out or something? Where do I find this? Will the video be the 3-minute version? Yeah, so the idea is every summary is only like a few paragraphs. I think what I'm gonna do is today we're gonna craft like the huge video, like the movie. We're gonna make a movie here today. And then we're going to put that one out. And then after that, all I literally have to do is just cut the pieces of that video out and then put them out on their own. And then that's how I'm going to make, you know, the YouTube shorts and such. So I'm going to do all the work right at the start. And then, you know, just all the subsequent work is already done for itself. Hell to the yeah, I see the vision. Yeah. I hope it works out. I hope it works out. The format could work. Because then in the future, when we get more stories, all I have to do is literally just move things around and then I could put stuff in there. And of course, as the game continues, like the huge videos will get longer, unless maybe when we're like formatting it today, maybe it doesn't have to literally be one video. Maybe it could be like a 3-part video, like a little series where we could end one with a cliffhanger and such, and then the next one picks up. I guess that would help out the channel with the watch time and such anyway. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We could go either way. I'm fine with doing whatever. So I think that's the plan. You could do videos for each Chronoverse. We discussed that yesterday, but the thing is, hold on, let me pull up the soundtrack. Okay. The thing we were talking about yesterday with the videos for each Chronoverse is that sometimes the stories reference stuff that's happening from other Chronoverses. And then that would be a little bit tricky and might confuse people. So I feel like it needs to be like a kind of like an all or nothing type thing. Like either you present all of those stories all together, or you're just looking at one singular story by itself. Because also we were trying to piece it together a little bit for like a second last night with the different Chronoverses, but then like one of the issues that immediately became prevalent was like, hold on, let me look at the characters. I think I will remember what the issue was if I see them. Hey, Blue Stream, thank you for hopping over to Twitch. Is Bucky in the main timeline or the 2099 one? So Bucky originally is in the original present day one. And then he and Hawkeye got plucked into, is it 2099 or just, I don't know if Shuri and all of them are in 2099. I'm not entirely sure about that. We're going to discuss that today. But they definitely get plucked out of that timeline into another one to be with Captain America from 2099. But that one is different than, because Shuri refers to that Captain America as a different Captain America than the one she knows. So I don't think they're in either anymore. But they got plucked from the main one. Okay, what is it? It was something. Oh, you know what? That's a good example. Bucky and Hawkeye, right? Like if we do videos for each Chronoverse, Hawkeye would be in the present day one, but then he gets plucked into a different timeline And then when we do that other timeline, do we do the Hawkeye story again or no? See, that would be like that would be a little bit of an issue. Because the people who were watching the video for the other Chronoverse, not the main one that it comes from, they would be kind of confused why he shows up. And they don't have the full context of why he shows up, right? So those would just be the little issues that we would run into if we did like a video for each Chronoverse. Because there's a lot of like intermingling with one another. So what we came up with is I thought of this Infinity War type format of going back and forth between all the universes. And then I think I'm gonna do like a transition, you know, like a portal or something, like some sound effect to indicate in the video that we're going somewhere else. And we'll just keep doing that as we go through the stories. And what we're gonna do this in a few minutes. We're gonna like group them up. We're gonna do the little mini arcs of the stories that like tie together. But Wolverine used the beads to get into the Empire in 2099. So are the beads interdimensional? Yes, I do think. Yeah, I think they're interdimensional. I think from what I've read about the beads, you could theoretically be in any universe, use the beads, and then you go to that intergalactic empire of Wakanda. Because that base is like, they describe it at being, I believe, I'm sorry, if I make like small mistakes, I do apologize. It's a lot of lore to keep up with. But I believe they describe it as like being at the edge of time. Now, I think they're still in one of the Chronoverses, but I'm not entirely sure which one it is. I think it may be the collapsing one because they're like talking about the darkness taking over Wakanda and such. It's fitting with that, but like there's no like concrete like, oh, this is the one we're in. I think you should finish up the character bios first. We technically are, except it's gonna be an entirely new format. Like with this, I'm gonna break off all of these videos because they're, you know, again, different format. I'm gonna break these off and upload those as their own videos. So like, I'm gonna be uploading another Cloak and Dagger video. It's gonna be like a different one, but under a different format. And then I'm just gonna do that for all of these heroes. So like, I'm technically gonna finish up all the character bios, but they're just gonna be in this new format we're doing. All right, next piece of business we got to talk about. We got like some things we got to clear up before we start the work. I need your opinion. So I've already decided I'm probably going to skip over this this gallery card until the next edition where we get the rest of the Fantastic Four, right? So we get the full picture of this. So we're skipping this for right now. Let me paint you a picture. Because we are doing this huge video and we're gonna be jumping back and forth between the universes, I think it would be a cool idea to start off the video with the Reed Richards story, because, you know, him and Shuri are talking about the different universes and stuff, talking about Chronovium. Like, it's a lot of like world building and exposition that would be very beneficial right at the start. And then, you know, they reference the different universes, what happens. I think we start off the video with this story. We go through all the rest of the stories. And then at the very end of that video, maybe, we circle back to this story. So like we start and end with this story. Possibly, if we can make that work. If we do go with the idea, this is what I need your opinion on. Do we also include Invisible Woman's story in this video as well? Or do we hold that one off until we bring in this gallery card? Because the reason I'm asking, of course, is that the Reed Richards one isn't like it helps further the plot, but like in the sense of giving context to everything else rather than doing something specific. The Invisible Woman story does a thing, right? I believe Sue's bio is not relevant to the main lore. Do Sue, since she's already here, may as well? Oh my. It's kind of a side story. Mixed feelings, huh? We'll feel it out. We'll feel it out. I mean, I do have the summary in case we do want to do it. All right, I believe that is all I wanted to talk about up top about what we are doing. I think. Okay. All right, let's not waste any more time then. Let's get into it, huh? Also, are the seasonal stories non-canon? What do you mean seasonal stories? Christmas one and Spring Festival? I'll be honest, I have not read either of those. I'll be real honest with you, Chief. Because my guess, I've been running off the assumption those are just like, they're probably canon. But, again, I could be entirely wrong, but they're probably not like impactful and significant to the story. They're probably just like fun little side things. I think. I think you should read them. They're pretty wholesome. Yeah, they are. You mean, yeah, they are as in they are significant, or they're just fun side stories? They aren't significant? Okay. I might cover them at some point then, like on the side. Once we're caught up with everything. Because once we're done with this video right here, we'll be caught up until, we'll pretty much just be waiting until Human Torch and the Thing arrive. So we'll have some time. I meant you should read them personally. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll check them out. All right. Are we are we ready to jump into this? I have no idea how long this is gonna take. I'll be real honest with you. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna open my blinds. I don't want to be a little ghoul and just sit in this dark room. It's late at night here, so I gotta go to sleep. Oh no. Damn. Well, thanks for hanging out. You have an exam tomorrow? Oh my, school? Oh, I remember that struggle. Have a good night. Yeah, best of luck. Good luck on the exam. I don't know about you, I'm a terrible test taker. Okay. Now, for people like myself who have graduated and are no longer in school and don't have to do homework anymore. With all of that said, we move past it. Now, let's begin some homework. Let's get into it. All right. How's the music? Should I turn it up a little bit or something? We're kind of just sitting here and talking, so I don't want the music to drown me out or anything. Sounds festive. Yeah, I'm vibing with this. Okay. Let's get to work. 45 minutes in the stream. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Right now, we're pretty much just going to lay out all the character stories first and group them together. And then after that, we're going to place them in chronological order, kind of. That's how we're going to do it. Okay. Let me pull up all my summaries. Okay, this isn't really going to have any any strict order. They're not like in alphabetical order or anything like that. They're just what I was working on. But we're just gonna go down the list that I got. Okay. So Black Panther. Then we got Hella over here. I'm going to include Invisible Woman for right now. I'll see how I feel about it. So we got Invisible Woman. We got Iron Fist. And we got Jeff. And Namor. Penny Parker. We got Psylocke. Let's move that over with Jeff. And then we got Reed Richards. Rocket. Scarlet Witch. Spider-Man. Spider-Man is over here with Reed Richards, kind of. And then we got Squirrel Girl as well. We got Star-Lord over here. Storm. The Punisher. Let's bring Thor over with Hela. We got Venom. The Winter Soldier. Okay. Wolverine. Ooh, I guess. Yeah, we could put that over with Storm. YouTube is saying playback pause because your account is being used on another location. What? What are you talking about? Hold on, wait a second. Let me check my email. That is weird. I literally just have it on that one window. Also, why does it matter if I use it in a different location? That was weird. I haven't seen that before. Hold on, let me look this up real quick. See if it's a common problem. What's up, level 159 over on YouTube? Hello, how's it going? I'm doing good as well. Okay, it seems to be a YouTube issue, so that's something. I thought somebody was trying to, break into my account right now. What is this song? Oh, brother, it's one of those playlists where they just start putting in their own music in here. Hold on now. I guess we're just going to have to go to Spotify. All right, yeah, it looks like a YouTube issue. All right, let's continue. Where were we at? Winter Soldier. Oh, Wolverine, right? Yeah, put Wolverine over by Storm. All right. We got Captain America. We're going to group that up with Winter Soldier. And then we got Bruce Banner. Cloak and Dagger. And be over here. Then we got Doctor Strange. Hold on, let me get a little refresher on his story. Oh yeah, this is happening in the main timeline. All right, Doctor Strange. Yeah, we got Groot over here. And we got Hawkeye. We got Black Widow. Iron Man. Loki. We got Luna Snow. We got Magic. We could put... Interesting. We will put her with Magic for right now. We got Magneto over here with the X-Men. Then we got Mantis. We'll put her by herself for now. We'll figure that out later. We got Moon Knight over here with the main dudes. And we got the Punisher, who's over here with the 29.9 folk. All right, hold on. Let's count this real quick. There should be all of the characters. There should be 35. Oh, yes, sir. All right, this is every character in the game so far. All right, now the fun begins. We got to put these babies in order and format them so they flow. Oh my. You have 2 Punishers? Hey, Ken, welcome in. Thank you for helping me out. 2 pun. Okay, who am I missing then? Oh, hold on, hold on. There we go. Yes, sir. Technology, you love it. Okay, who am I missing? All right, I guess we'll just go to the roster over here so I have a visual representation of what I'm doing. You're missing Adam? Whoa! You're absolutely right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, sir. Okay, now this is every character. All right. Let's put it in order. Holy shit. All right. You know what? Just to be safe, we're going to copy this list and put it down here. There we go. Okay. Damn, what am I doing? What am I doing? Am I the biggest moron on the planet? Don't answer that question. Why did I not copy the list before? I just did all that work to pair everybody up and then I just erased it. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay. All right. Adam Warlock. There we go. All right, let's count it just to be sure. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. All right, we got them all. All right, now this is what I'm going to copy. Okay, here we go. All right, let's put all of the mini arcs in order first, and then we'll do everything else. All right, Hela, Thor, and Loki. All right, I think, again, this is just a reminder. I'll probably say this multiple times throughout this stream. All of these stories are kind of like jumbled in my head, so I'll have to refresh myself and such. But I think Thor's is like the later of the three because he's already been imprisoned. Let me see real quick. Yes, sir. He is imprisoned by Loki. So that happens later. That happens after Loki for sure. Oh, but Hela's is like... This one doesn't tie directly into the Loki one. Yeah, Hela's story is when she's talking to the symbiote and it's about the Knoll. Like, wait, whatever he's doing. So I think this layout right here, I think this one is in order already. BRB, I'm still listening though. Oh, yes, sir. I think that's in order, so we're good on that. Because an Iron Fist kind of takes place by himself. This one, you know. Honestly, right now, since we're all in chapter 1 and such, and it's kind of separate, really, as long as we put this before we cover the comics, we'll be good. Because Iron Fist does appear in the comics. So that's all we really need to worry about there. Jeff and Psylocke. Okay, Jeff's story starts out... where he's imprisoned by the Collector, of course. Psylocke. Her story starts... Okay. Psylocke happens before they're captured in the Collector's museum. So that happens before Jeff. And then I think I'm going to move Mantis over here because they're all grouped up. Let me just make sure, of course. Even though it's kind of a layup, but you know, I don't want to mess up like I did on the timeline video I did, where I forgot something. All right, let me just because there's more of the museum in Mantis's story. Let me refresh on Psylocke's real quick to remember how that story ended. Okay, Mantis's story ends like right when they're leaving the museum. And then in Psylocke's story, that's where we learn that as they're leaving, they get a signal from the Guardians. So it goes Psylocke, because that's before capture. Wait, let me go to Jeff. Jeffrey. Jeffrey's story. Jeff's story ends right when they lift off from escaping. Okay. And he's already in the museum at the start of it. So it goes Psylocke. Wait, no. Ooh, how do I frame this? See, this is where it gets a little tricky on how I present these stories. Mantis and Jeff seem like they happen at the same time. Yeah, there's a lot of overlap between these three stories. But in terms of formatting it, I'm trying to keep a flow of like a narrative. So would it be better to front load the escape right at the start of this arc or leave it to the end? I guess it's typically better to I guess it would be better to do the least amount of info at the start and then the most at the end, right? Like, even though Psylocke's story covers more time, as in, you know, before she gets captured, and then they escape, and then they find out the Guardians do a distress call and such, I feel like we should do that at the end because it's a lot more context. Psylocke, Jeff, Mantis, then back to Psylocke. I hear what you're saying, but I'm trying to keep it simple. I don't want to confuse people. Because theoretically, these videos are going to get to a lot more people, including like the casual people who just like are semi-interested in the story of the game. I don't want to confuse them with going back and forth, because we're already going between universes. I don't want to like split some stories in half or something, because that would confuse a lot of people. So I'm trying my best to read the summaries in full. So we just got to like make a sacrifice. Like, something is going to get spoiled when we're doing these arcs, and then there's going to be some like repeated story beats. So I'm just trying to figure out the right way to create like a nice flow. So it's not like like you're hearing of a specific event for like the third time already. I don't want it to feel like it's dragging. Like I want it to feel like, oh, I'm getting more context of the thing I've already learned about. So I think we're good. You, Jeff, Psylocke. The Mantis is going to be... I think I'm going to put Mantis first. Because that's where we learn Psy's name is Psylocke and such. So in the other stories, when Psy is referred to, people know that it's Psylocke. I think that's how I'm going to do this. Okay. Then we got Namor. And I believe he appears in Luna Snow's story too. Okay. Sorry, I was just reading right there. All right, Namor happens. And we're going to tie that with Luna because he appears. We're going to place Namor before hers. Because Namor's story obviously like sets the ground for his motivations and such. So that would explain why he shows up in Luna Snow's story. So that's pretty good. Penny Parker. All right, hers kind of takes place on her own. So we can leave that right there for now. All right, Spider-Man, obviously taking place at the end. That's the most recent one. We'll just do Iron Man. Moon Knight happens before then. And Squirrel Girl. Doctor Strange happens real early, doesn't it? Yeah. Doctor Strange happens first. And Cloak and Dagger happens pretty soon as well. And then just for now, as a placeholder, we put Reed at the very end. And we'll see where exactly we're going to place that. Okay, this is looking pretty accurate. Doctor Strange first, because that happens pretty early on. Cloak and Dagger takes place in, like, right during the entanglement and then shortly after. There's a Moon Knight, learns about the Montesi formula, talks about it with Iron Man. Iron Man, Moon Knight show up in Squirrel Girl's story. Blade returns in Spider-Man. All right, that's looking good. Okay, we're gonna play Star-Lord. At the end, because that's where they lift off of Clintar. They leave the planet afterwards. Okay, so I believe Groot happens first in what we're doing. Because at the start of that story, Rocket and Star-Lord are arguing about crashing onto Clintar, and that's where Groot walks off. So we could do it to where Groot walks off, and then Rocket walks off, and then they reconvene and then leave Clintar with Star-Lord. Blade is captured by Draco in Spider-Man story. Yeah. So that's how that goes. Scarlet Witch by herself for now. For now. Okay. Then we got the 2099 saga. All right, so Storm happens pretty early on because we learned about the entanglement. So we'll keep that right there. And then we got Black Widow. And then, of course, Wolverine, because that ties into Black Widow. Okay, and then this makes sense that Magneto's right after Wolverine because he brings the girl, Magic Scarlet Witch, to Krakoa. So that tracks. Okay, so in Punisher's story, he meets up with Black Widow, and Black Widow reveals that Captain America is alive, so that takes place after her own story, and Wolverine, of course. Okay. Hello? Can you still hear me? Hello? Hello? Am I still alive? Can you hear me? Okay, something weird just happened. Like this music. I don't know if it happened on your end. It may have just been my headphones. But like all of a sudden, it just felt like instantly, the volume was set to like 400% of the volume. Like, it was crazy. I had to throw my headphones off of my ears right when it happened. And then I was doing that for a second. And I was trying to pause it over on Spotify. It wasn't responding until like 10 seconds later. Then it stopped. And then my headphones had like a buzz until I unplugged them and plugged them back in. Now it seems normal. I don't know what just happened. I did not like it though. All I heard was silence. It may have just been my headphones because they were like kind of tangled. Maybe that was it. I'm hoping that was it. All right. Does Scarlet Witch tie in with the New York? It's mainly Strange calling for help with Dracula. No, because she's in a different universe. He's talking to her through the astral plane from a different dimension. Okay, I am going to move the Punisher up a little bit so it comes right after Black Widow disappears. Then we end this arc with Magneto. Dude, doing this in the future is gonna get real crazy. Once we start getting multiple chapters for people, it's gonna get very intricate. Okay. Okay, so magic. I'll move this. It's got to be before Magneto's story. So you know what? We'll place this after Punisher. Then that would mean that Venom would have to be there as well. Okay, so here's the thing about magic, right? This is likely the same magic that appears in the Venom story as it is in her own story. It's likely the same one, but it could also be different. So what I'm going to do to tie the Venom one into it is I'm not going to put that in like the 2099 like arc. But what we're going to do is we're going to do the Venom story before this. I'm going to say that takes place first. And that inherently is going to bring up Adam Warlock as well. Because those two are paired. Let me just go to Adam's story real quick. I wonder how they'll release the second chapters for people. Me too. I hope they don't just dump them all at the same time. That's what I hope they don't do. I hope they do like a weekly rollout or something. Okay, let's discuss this real quick. This is what trips me up about the Venom and Adam Warlock stories together, is that in Adam Warlock's story, in his cocoon when he crashes onto Clintar, his story says that his cocoon opens and he exits the cocoon, right? In Venom's story, Venom rips open the cocoon. So this could just be, you know, we also have to keep in mind Adam Warlock's story is like pretty much from his perspective, which is like very unique in how they're doing these stories. Because most of the stories are just, hey, these are the events that are happening. These are the quotes of the dialogue that the people say. You know, it's like a story you're reading. Adam Warlock is like telling the story, basically. So it could just be he thinks he just exits his cocoon when really Venom is the one who helped him escape it. That could be what it is. But also, it is a little tricky because, you know, what if these are two different variants that are not interacting whatsoever? You know what I mean? Regardless, I'm going to operate on the fact right now it would be really confusing if they are not the same Warlock and Venom. I hear you on that one. But it's still possible, you know? I'm going to do the Adam Warlock one first because it covers a larger gap of time. And also Venom and Adam Warlock talk for a bit in Venom's story. They clear up the confusion. Because Adam thinks Venom is null at first. So we could do that. All right, that's looking good. That comes before the 29-9 saga that we do. We're doing this pretty fast, man. I thought this was going to take way longer, but it's kind of working itself out. All right, give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay. Captain America. All right. All right, so Captain America takes place after both Hawkeye and Winter Soldier, because they're already in Wakanda and such. And then Hawkeye happens before because he starts his mission to find Bucky. Okay. Oh my, I think we're done. I think we're pretty much done. All right, for the Black Panther story, this has to happen a bit later. Because of the Null stuff. Hmm. Okay, I guess we could place a Black Panther story after Hella's. As in, like, because Black Panther kind of takes place by himself a little bit. We just put that right there. And then Bruce Banner. Then Thor shows up. I was talking to Banner. I believe it's the same one. So it has to happen before Thor's. So we could like put that right there. I think T'Challa's story is earlier because Shuri would still need to send the Guardians to investigate, but then have the Guardians witness Venom and Adam. Oh. Okay. Okay. I think we were good on the character stories. I like this. We could play around with it a little bit, but like this is mainly the order. Okay, so now we need to do the Infinity comic and the Entangled Moments. All right, so the Infinity comic. Okay, this is where it starts to get a little tricky because the Infinity comic, Spider-Man shows up to help out Spider-Zero, but in Spider-Man's Chapter 1, he declines to help Spider-Zero. Obviously, either in Chapter 2 or 3, that's where he shows up in the comic. But right now, we don't have that information. So I guess right now, I'm just going to place this at the end. Infinity Comics, I think, is way later in the timeline. Yeah, I agree. This is like probably the most recent thing. Especially with how the comic ends. So we'll place it as the very last thing. Okay, next, let's do the Entangled Moments. This is the last section that we got to do. Once we're done with this, we just got to figure out like the exact right order. And then we get into the crazy part where I got to do the voiceover for all of these stories. All of them. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun though. Okay, Family Affairs. Okay. So the Family Affairs happens after Loki has already taken over Yggdrasil. So we'll place this after the Thor one. Okay, the next one is the Gods and Guardians one. And then this is where Shuri learns about the darkness going throughout the universe. So this... Okay, we could do the Black Panther story and then Gods and Guardians. We could do that. Okay. And then next, after this, I'm going to place the Blind Devotion one. Because that's where T'Challa really learns about the darkness and such. All right, and then with the Hydra entangled moment takes place. We could do it. It's a little precursor to the Winter Soldier arc, so we could do that right there. And this is the last one, the Web Warriors. I'm gonna place this right before the Infinity comic. And there we go. I think this is our timeline. At least in terms of the groupings and such. I think we got it. Okay, now that we're looking at it, let's see what the best format would be. Would the best approach still be one huge video, or should we split them up? Because man, looking at like these little mini arcs, these could just be their own videos. Like we could just do like little mini series. Man, I'm just thinking. Cause I may now be leaning towards smaller videos to break this up. Because a lot of these stories tie in with one another. Oh man. No, no, we'll just do one big video because I could always, you can't really do the reverse. I mean, I guess you can, but like it'd be formatted differently. We'll continue to do just this huge video, and then I could split it up into smaller videos with the arcs later on if I want to. But let's focus on creating one cohesive experience that tells the story of Marvel Rivals. That's the goal. Okay. You know what? Let me set up a new doc. Let me set it up. We're making a lot of progress, man. We've only been streaming for 2 hours. Look at us go. Okay. I don't know what to call it yet. We will just call it the beginning. Okay. Now we just gotta see how we format this. Let me ponder it. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Okay. All right, so let's copy this. Okay. So this is where we could be a little bit creative, right? Because at this point, as long as the universes themselves, the stories that take place within those universes, as long as those are in chronological order, right now we have the freedom of doing our own thing outside of that. As long as that remains intact, we can move things around to, you know, create a narrative that we want to do. So I think that it might be cool. Hold on, let me double check it real quick to make sure the stories line up. Okay, it lines up. I think it would be a good opening to start the video with the Reed Richards story. So we start off with Reed's story, and then we could go to Doctor Strange's story. Because that lays the groundwork for Doctor Doom and the Time Stream Entanglement. And then this is where we can play around a little bit. We don't necessarily have to go right into the other New York City stories. So I won't. Instead, the Doctor Strange story ends with, you know, the Time Stream Entanglement happening. So it's very much kind of like a cliffhanger thing. We could do that, and that's a good way to go into some of the other stories from different universes. So I don't want to do the Loki one just yet, since we would have to do Bruce Banner first. What should we do next? Maybe we should do the Adam Warlock one. Because it lays the groundwork for Bast already being taken over by the darkness of Null and the Celestial and Odin. Wait, no, Odin. Ooh, hold on now. No, because Odin is already in Odin sleep at that point, so it would have to come after the Loki story. All right, so we can't do that just yet. So all the Clintar stuff should happen after Loki, so we know that. Ooh, do we do the 2099 arc right after that? Because Storm's story happens in the time stream entanglement. So that would be a good transition from the Doctor Strange story. Oh, we'll do that. Yes, sir. Okay, we will do Storm's story right after Doctor Strange. As in, do we just stay with the 2099 stories? Yeah, I guess we could do that. Where we immediately go into Black Widow's story. And then at first, if people don't know they're connected, they're just, yeah, we see Storms, then Black Widows, as in Black Widows has some good overlap with Wolverine's story. And then that ties directly into the Punisher. And then Wolverine pops up in Magic's story. Ooh, but Scarlet Witch is gonna have to come before that. Okay, we'll keep that in the back of our head for a second. All right. So we've got the Magneto story. Okay, this, we could all do that. Magneto. Wait, all right, Scarlet Witch. Okay, maybe we do Scarlet Witch's story right after Doctor Strange. Okay, I'm liking that. So we got Scarlet Witch already established by the time she shows up in Magic's story, so then she could appear in Magneto's story. So that all checks out. So we got Magneto. And then this is good that we're doing this first because Magneto sends out that signal to the mutants about Krakoa. And that's the message that Psylocke gets. I want to say leave the Collector's Museum. So So that's good that we're doing this arc first. So then after this is when we could do the low-key arc. Ooh, but I do want to give some time between Hella and low-key stories. And that's the one with the symbiote. You know what? The Loki and Hella stories are like disconnected. So I guess we could do one after the other. We just gotta place Hella first like we did. That works. So we set up the darkness a little bit as well. Then after this is when we could get into the Adam Warlock and Venom stuff. Because we had already... Oh. Oh. All right, this is getting a little tricky because the magic story... I think Venom, when Magic shows up in Venom's story, I think that happens before her own story. Oh. Okay, you know what? This is what we're going to do instead. We are going to... Did I copy something? No. Okay. We are going to move this up a bit. We're going to put that right after Storm's story. Then we go over to Black Widow's story in 2099. We do that, do the whole X-Men saga. And then that's where we could fit an Adam Warlock and Venom story. We could place that. Right there. Okay. Okay, the Black Panther saga. We could... We could put this after Venom. Alright, I guess the X-Men saga is not going to be the first arc that we do. We're going to have to split that up a little bit. this is where Shuri sends the Guardians over to Clintar, so their stories are coming up after that. Okay. Okay, maybe we do the Captain America saga. Before the Black Panther one. Okay, actually, let's do it before Adam Warlock and Venom. Okay. Bruce Banner. Let's put that after Storm. All right, Mantis, Jeff, and Psylocke. That has to happen after. Hold on, let's go back. Let's place that right back there. Let's do the Guardians first. This is. You know what? Let's place this after Venom and Adam Warlock. All right, let's do that. Or do we place it before? No, we'll place it after. So we got that. All right, now Mantis, Jeff, and Psylocke. All right, let's place this right there. Okay. And from there, cloak and dagger. Where are we putting cloak and dagger? Um, mm, okay, we could do cloak and dagger, like after Scarlet Witch, because that happens around the time stream entanglement happening. So we lay out that groundwork. All right, Namor and Lunas now are pretty isolated, so we could put that like right there. And then Penny Parker is probably going to benefit a lot if we place it closer towards the comics. We'll do that. Then these three, Moon Knight, Iron Man, and Squirrel Girl, they fight Dracula. Okay. We gotta split this up, don't we? There's Moon Knight with the Doctor Doom conversation. That's before all the vampire stuff happens. Okay, we could do Moon Knight right after Doctor Strange, since Doctor Doom in Moon Knight's story mentions that Doctor Strange has put the Darkhold in the astral plane, and that would only happen after he talked to Doctor Strange. So we have that. But then Moon Knight's gonna return in Iron Man story, where they go into the Squirrel Girl story. We could put that over here. Boom. All right. Um, okay, Iron Fist, Iron Fist. We can just find a place to put that by itself. Okay, we could put this after the Black Panther saga and before we get into the 2099 stories. Iron Fist. Okay, the Invisible Woman story mentions Penny Parker, but like, this Penny Parker is mentioned. But like, we don't know why yet. So maybe at least in this first set, maybe it is going to be a good decision to leave out the Invisible Woman story. I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna leave Invisible Woman out until we get like more context to the Penny Parker stuff. Okay. And this is pretty much it. Because all this is happening at the end here. So this is what it's looking like. So we start off with Reed and Sherry talking about timelines and chronovium and the time stream entanglement. When we go back in time, Dr. Doom talks with Doctor Strange and Moon Knight. Set that up. Scarlet Witch, different dimension, holding her reality together. Doctor Strange shows up, talks about what's happening, gives her that context. Go back to Cloak and Dagger. And then we learn more about the entanglement by Storm's story, where they go into 2099. But in that story, we don't learn that they're in 2099 yet. We just know that it's different now. And we go over to Bruce, who's isolated, trying to build that new belt to harness his power. So that's like, it seems like it's by itself right there. We go to Hela and Loki, where then they banish Thor. And then he links up with Bruce Banner, so that's why we put Bruce right there. And then we got Ratatoskar writing that note to Immortal to take down Loki. Then we got the Hydra story talking about Bucky. And then Hawkeye sent on a mission to save Bucky. Bucky gets saved. They are then transported by Captain America to work together at Wakanda. Ooh, wait a second. Because he's already at Wakanda. We got to do Black Widow's story before then. We place it down here. Hmm. Okay, I guess we could split up the Black Widow, Wolverine, and Punisher story, place that a little bit earlier. Because that would still mean that Venom happens first with Magic appearing, and then we go back to Magic. And that's where Scarlet Witch and Wolverine pop up. That could be a cool little circle back to the stories we've already done. Okay, that works, right? Black Widow 2099 with the Captain America, Wolverine with the Captain America, and Punisher talking about Captain America. Okay, yeah, moving this still works. So we'll do this. Let's place that right after the Loki story. Okay. So I got Black Widow setting up Captain America, and she disappears. Wolverine talking about finding Captain America, putting him in Wakanda. Punisher meets up with Black Widow. Black Widow already knows about Captain America. As we jump over, talking about Hydra, talking about the mission, saving Bucky, getting brought to Wakanda by Captain America. Then we go over to Adam Warlock, where we set up the darkness for Bast. Odin has already been put into Odin's sleep by Loki, which happens earlier, or well, they talk about the plan. So we learn that it's successful. Well, we learn that it's successful right at Thor's story, so we know it happens immediately. That's the nature of chapter 1s. So it's Odin, Bast, and the Celestial. And that leads into Venom, who finds Adam Warlock. Then we jump over to the Guardians on Clintar as well. Groot, Rocket, Star-Lord. Okay, who deal with that Celestial. Then we jump into Black Panther, who deals with Bast. Oh, we're kind of cooking with this layout here. Things are flowing nicely. And then we do a little deviation. We go with Iron Fist, learn about him. Then we go to Magic, where we see Scarlet Witch and Wolverine return. Then we go to Magneto, which is a follow-up on that. Then we do Mantis, who we learn about was with the Guardians, but then disappeared in a blink of an eye. That leads to Jeff and Psylocke. Those are together. So that yeah, because they're already on the call from Shuri, and that's when Mantis disappears. So that timeline tracks, right? Gods and Guardians. Yeah, that happens before. Then we jump into Namor. Establish that dude. Namor pops up in Luna Snow story. And we go to Iron Man. Moon Knight shows up there. Moon Knight, Iron Man show up in Squirrel Girl at Central Park. Okay, that tracks. Then we jump over real quick to Penny Parker, who's isolated. We jump back to Spider-Man. Thematically, it tracks because, you know, Penny Parker, Spider-Man, stuff like that. So Spider-Man. So Penny Parker establishes Spider-Zero in the story. Then Spider-Zero talks to Spider-Man. Then, because it's a chapter 1, something happens to where in Web Warriors, we learn that Spider-Man was forcibly brought to 2099 to help Spider-Zero. And then we go over the Infinity comic. And that's a timeline, dude. That's what it is. Wow. Look at that. About 2.5 hours of work. We got this down. Hell yeah. Look at that. That's a lot of planning right there. Damn, covering 40 pieces of story. Hold on, let me look this up. I'm bad at math. Let me calculate this real quick. Let's say we do 40 stories and they're each 3 minutes long. That's 120 minutes, aka 2 hours. 2 hours, dude. Is that too long of a video? All right, just give me a minute and we will start doing the recording, brother. Okay. You know what? I'm actually going to take a little bit of a break. Give me 1 sec. Mm. Again, I'm just thinking about how to format this. I don't know, man. Looking at it, it it's gonna be more digestible and easier to follow, I think, and easier to like promote if we split it up. I think that might be the way to go. Because it would also help us like highlight like the more significant and interconnected stories are. Like, for example, like the first episode could be Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, and Moon Knight. So you get the backstory on the Chronovium, the Chronoverses, the time stream entanglement, and you get like the Doctor Doom appearances setting up what he's going to do. So you get all of the setup in this first set right here. And then Scarlet Witch could be her own video, as can Cloak and Dagger be, because Cloak and Dagger, we get some details on the entanglement as well, where they go and talk to Reed Richards. So that could benefit from being its own video, as can Storm. And then we could link up Bruce, Hela, Loki, and Thor right here, as well as the Family Affairs one. That could be its own video. And then we do the Captain America, not the Captain America, but like the Black Widow saga we got right here, right? With Captain America there. Then we got the Captain America saga right after that. And then we go into the Clintar stuff. Like, honestly, like, we could even do this whole thing all together in one video. Like Adam Warlock, Venom, Groot, Rocket, Star-Lord. Or not the Black Panther, but these right here, the Guardians, along with Venom. Since they're doing the same thing pretty much. And then after that, we got the Black Panther stuff. Iron Fist could be his own story since he's isolated. Then we pick back up with Magic, where we go into Magneto as well. So we could like promote that video as like Magneto, you know, the trial of Magneto. That'll just be the chapter, but the video title as well. But like we'll do the Magic story first for the setup. You could do that. And then we go into the Mantis Jeff Psylocke stuff. Then Namor and Luna Snow can have their own video. Then Iron Man and Squirrel Girl. Since those events connect with one another. And then this Penny Parker, Spider-Man, and the rest of it could all be their own thing. That's what I'm thinking. And then like after we put out all these videos, we could just compile them all into one huge video if we want. I think that might be the better way to go. What would that be? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It'd be 15 episodes of a series, which is not bad. Which is not bad. I think that is the way to go. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Because I gotta run to the store real quick. I am gonna come back in like 15 minutes. The store is only like down the street. I'll be back in like 15, 20 minutes or so. That's where we'll start recording the voiceover for all these stories. And then while I'm at the store, I'll think about like the format on how I want to do it. If I want to do the 15 episodes like I just mentioned, or like tailor it in a way right now to where we do a huge video. I'll think about that right now. I'll be back in like 15, 20 minutes. I'll start up a new stream and then we'll get right into these stories.